Hello, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to dive into something really powerful, a framework that might just flip the script on how you see your life. It's an ancient teaching, but trust me, it has some incredibly modern applications for taking charge of your own reality. So, let's get right into it.
So, let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those days, or maybe even one of those years, where you feel like you're just along for the ride? You know, like you're being tossed around by things completely outside of your control, just reacting to whatever life throws at you? Yeah, it's a pretty common feeling. But what if, and this is a big what if that's not the whole story? What if the source of everything you experience, the good, the bad, the wins, the losses, isn't out there, but it's actually in here? Well, there's this profound Vietnamese teaching that offers this exact mind-bending shift. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens from you.
And that right there, that's our first big idea. This is the absolute foundation for everything else we're going to talk about. The idea that you are not a victim of your circumstances, but you are the very origin point, the source code for your life story.
This whole concept is just so beautifully captured in this one Vietnamese phrase, KIliwon, cuộc, sống, mình. It basically means the source of life originates from oneself. What this teaching suggests is that your external world, we're talking your relationships, your health, your finances, the whole shebang, is just a direct mirror of your internal world. So, if you want to change what's on the outside, the work has to start on the inside.
And this quote, wow, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? I mean, really think about it. How much of our time and energy do we waste wishing other people would act differently, or that our situation would just magically change? Well, according to this teaching, that's a one-way ticket to suffering. Real happiness, the lasting kind, starts when we shift our focus inward and work on the only thing we actually have 100% control over, ourselves.
Okay, so you might be thinking, this all sounds a little philosophical, a little abstract, right? But here's what's so fascinating. This core idea, it isn't just a standalone concept. It's actually reflected across completely different worldviews. Let's take a look at 3 different lenses: science, religion, and morality. And you'll see how they all point back to the very same truth.
So take a look at this. It's pretty amazing when you see it laid out. Through the lens of science, your reality is shaped by the mental images you consistently hold. From a religious perspective, it's about the karma and merit you've built up. And from a moral standpoint, it all comes down to your core beliefs, the things you truly know, believe, and understand. Do you see the pattern here? 3 totally different paths, all leading to the exact same place. Your inner world creates your outer world.
All right, so how does this actually work in practice? The teachings give us this really cool practical model to help us visualize it. It's called the triangle of reality. Think of it like a blueprint that shows you exactly how your personal world gets built, piece by piece.
So, at its most basic level, this triangle says that everything, and I mean everything, from the chair you're sitting on to the relationship you're in, is made of 3 key parts. First, you've got information, which is like the blueprint or the idea. Then you have energy, which is the feeling, the vibe. And finally, you have matter, which is the actual physical thing you can see and touch.
Okay, so let's bring this home. How does this triangle apply directly to you? Well, your information is everything you know, believe, and understand to be true about the world. That information then generates your energy, your typical emotional state, how you feel day to day. And that energy, in turn, eventually solidifies into matter, the real tangible results you see in your life. It's a direct chain reaction that starts with your beliefs.
And there's a special term for this foundational information in the original teaching, KIliwon, which you can think of as your core beliefs or your source concepts. These are the seeds. They are the deeply rooted ideas that serve as the absolute starting point for your entire reality. If you change these core beliefs, you literally change everything that grows from them.
Okay, so knowing all this is great, right? But the real magic, the real power, happens when you start to apply it. And the teaching lays out 2 very different levels of wisdom, which really represent a huge shift from just reacting to life to consciously and proactively creating it.
Let's break this down.
At level 1, you're an observer. You see the world as having good parts and bad parts, and your main skill is choosing to focus on the good stuff. It's a positive mindset for sure, but it's still fundamentally reactive. But level 2, wow, that's a total game changer. At level 2, you become a creator. You don't just find the good in the world, you understand you are the source of it, and you actively build the world you want to live in. You stop reacting to circumstances because you're too busy creating them.
So, a person operating from level 1, when they're faced with a tough situation, will ask a question that sounds something like this. It's about finding that silver lining, which is definitely a valuable skill. It's about making the best of what's already in front of you. But now, look at this shift with level 2 wisdom. The question is completely different. It's no longer about reacting to the present, it's about creating the future. It's forward-looking, it's proactive, and it takes full responsibility. It's a question of pure intention, not just observation. So that really becomes the big question, doesn't it? How do we make that leap? How do we stop being just observers and step into our power as the conscious creators of our own lives by really living this level 2 wisdom? Well, it really boils down to a few key actions. You start by proactively, intentionally building the mental images of the life you desire. At the same time, you have to work on your inner state, cultivating that balanced and positive energy. And the foundation for all of it? Consciously choosing and developing the core beliefs, those KIliwon, that actually support the reality you want to build. It's about shifting your entire mindset from reacting to problems to creating solutions from the ground up.
Look, if there is just one single thing you take away from this entire explainer, I want it to be this. This whole powerful teaching boils down to one simple, empowering truth. You are not a passenger. You are not just along for the ride. You are the source.
And that leaves us with one final, very powerful question for you to reflect on. Because this isn't just interesting information, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to stop reacting and to start creating. So, now that you know, what's it going to be? What reality will you choose to create starting right now?